Hey everybody, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder, your self-proclaimed metal mogul. Moving on to 1983 in my top 10 rock and metal covers of the 80s from my collection. Obviously limited to what I've got to show and what I like to see. 83 onwards is starting to get a little harder to narrow things down to just 10, as from now on the number of records I have in each of the years that follows just continues to grow. So it gets a little bit harder to just choose ones to show for here, but I've got 10 of my favourite to show right now. First up, Grand Prix Samurai. Now, I must stress, this is favourite covers, not favourite albums. This is an album I don't really like at all, and one that's actually on my for sale pile. But it's still there for now, and still able to show it. So, Grand Prix, Robin McAuley's band in 1983. Cover always reminds me, when I see it, of Tokyo Blade. But a little bit more of them coming up soon. Spoilers. Now, this is a cover that may surprise one or two people. It is not what I would call amazing artwork or anything like that at all, but Suicidal Tendencies, self-titled debut album. This was the first ever record that I blind bought. I was visiting my sister. She's at university. She was in lectures. I had time to kill. I went into a local record store, flipping through the records, came across Suicidal Tendencies. Never heard of them, had no idea what they sounded like, but I had a pretty good guess from the name of the band, the typeface of the logo, and I just was enthralled by the shirts, the drawings on the shirts, and the names of the songs. Didn't know really I knew what hardcore was at the time, but this is sort of hardcore, punky, barely metal, but fell in love with the cover, bought it, and fell in love with the album when I took it home and had a listen. The alternative cover for Sirens, Savatage. Always been enthralled by this cover. I didn't know it at the time, but this is actually it was taken from this book by Michael The Bonobles Go for Broke, which was published first of all in 1981. The artist who drew the original picture is called Terry Oakes, but always been enthralled by that cover. So I didn't know it was from the book when I first saw this. I just thought it was a great cover, and only subsequently that I've found out that it was completely ripped off. I have no idea what this picture has to do with Sirens. They're little elfy Bonobles, not sirens, but still great cover, great artwork. Probably the plainest cover I will show in this series, but I love it. It's just its simplicity. I had a comment about 1980 that I didn't show the Lightning to the Nations, the White Album by Diamond Head. Didn't show Back in Black either, but this, the cover has just it sucked me in. It seemed like pure evil at the time, but we all know it's not really that kind of album, but it is one of my top 10 favourite albums of all time, I will tell you that. I love the cover. Rock Goddess, new wave of British heavy metal, Hell Hath No Fury. I believe the US got a pretty raw deal on the version of the cover they got from this trio. But yes, fantastic artwork of Medusa. Couldn't do 1983 without Dio, Holy Diver. Iconic cover, but also amazing artwork with Murray trying to save the priest from drowning, should we say. But yes, introduced Murray to the world, and Dio's debut album. Another all-time favourite of mine. This is Eternal Dark by Picture. I love albums with skulls on. I've talked about loving albums with swords on, but yes, particularly fantastic drawing, I think. Also love the band logo for Picture as well. I think they're Dutch. Yeah, they're a Dutch metal band. Great album as well, actually. And here is the aforementioned Tokyo Blade. Just great drawing, very striking with the red and the white. Great band logo again, great image all round. Killer, new wave of British heavy metal. Swiss metal. Oh, I've always quite liked sort of simplistic covers that just maybe have one striking image on them, as well as the the beautiful artwork that you get on some albums. But the silver chrome skull and crossbones on Crocus Headhunter has always been an attractive cover to my eyes. And last but not least, it's 83. Maiden released an album. You can't have a top covers of the 1980s without defaulting to show Derek Riggs, and it's not a default, it's a top pick. The first studio Iron Maiden album I bought. This is the 2014 reissue, but I have my original version that I bought back in the day up on the shelf, having a night off for tonight. But the first image really, or the album image to say that I saw of Iron Maiden after Eddie on Life After Death kind of stuff. Well, there we go, that's 1983. What are your favourite covers from 1983? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you again in 1984, funnily enough.